Yeah, that's what I do, folks. That is what I do. I unleash the sweet tone onto the world, and they are healed by my rock and roll. I don't know, something like that. All right, guys, I'm Dr. McFarland. It is Tuesday. It's 4 o'clock-ish, and we are going live, talking about gear and all that fun stuff. I am going to see what I can do here. I feel like my volume can be a little bit louder. Let me look into that. Yeah, I'm going to raise it up a little bit. All right, so this is a Kiesel guitar. Kiesel began back in 1946, I think, 45, 46, by the great-grandpa Kiesel. And then the son came along and, well, not great-grandpa, just grandpa, I guess. Came along and kind of did some stuff. And then Jeff Kiesel, the son, i.e. the grandson of the original Kiesel, started back the custom shop of Kiesel back in, like, I don't know, 2013, 2012, something like that. It's been a while. But after and before Kiesel, they were known as Carvin. And I'm sure many of you guys out there, including me, we've all received the Carvin catalogs in the mail. You can order your own custom guitar, any specs you want, any color, any wood, whatever it is. And I never jumped on that train, but I always found it fascinating that, hey, these are really cool looking guitars. And back in the day, they weren't that expensive compared to how they are now. I mean, the inflation has gone through the roof at these days. So what would have cost you like $2,500 today would have been easily $1,200, $1,500, somewhere in there. Just, you know, that's nothing too outrageous. But man, if I would have been smart, I could have got myself a Carvin back in the day and been just as good as any Kiesel you would have got today. Maybe with just a different name and, you know, whatever. So what I'm playing through is the Kiesel. It's called the HyperRig Kiesel. This is what this looks like here. It's a plugin. This is a standalone plugin that also works via VST or AU in your DAW, and you can just plug your guitar into any interface, just 1/4 inch input, high Z input on your interface, and you can call up essentially 3 different amp channels. You got a maple. I'm clicking on the wrong one. You have a maple, which is your blonde, fendery kind of. Now, depending on the settings here, and based on a recent video that we've all seen, I'm sure. What do I need to do? I'm going to turn this down a little bit. And then maybe turn it up a little bit on the computer. All right, so depending on the gain level on your interface, it will drastically, or maybe not so drastically, alter the input signal of the plugin, and therefore maybe you're not hitting the sweet spot as much as you could be or should be going into an amplifier or something like that. So obviously I can raise the gain on this and get way higher gain. There's a push, there's a master, there's a sparkle. Let's see what happens if I do that. I know what I'm playing. All kinds of options though. So we have a compressor, we have a boost, we have a drive, and we have a chorus. Okay, so that is all the pre-amp effects. And then we have the speaker type. So we have different speakers. You can insert your own IR in here. So we can right click and change an IR. We can load an IR. I have my Doctor McFarland IR somewhere that I can load in there. There's different families. So if I wanted a blonde head, but with the infusion cab, then I could do that. Right, but we'll choose one of these cabs here because I chose IR, but then you couldn't hear anything because I didn't have a file loaded. That's not going to sound very good. So okay, pretty nice. There's a 2x12. There's other things here. I like it. There's a resonance and air. There's a room, so you can add more room sound into it. Let me actually turn off the reverb and delay over here. Let's just listen to the room sound. Okay, so it is adding room to the sound overall. Let me know in the comments if the levels are okay. We'll put that back around, you know, somewhere around there. And let me turn off that chorus. Bam. Now, what's cool thing about this is most plugins nowadays can be MIDI controlled. And I have a Black Star MIDI controller over here that I'm doing a review from Zounds, who is an affiliate partner of Dr. McFarland Studios. So if you're going to buy anything online, go through Zounds.com. They have very simple financing options, very fast shipping, sometimes within the next day, depending on where in America that you're at. Fast and free, and they're a great company to work with. So highly recommend them. And they're not necessarily paying me to say that. So, but when you do buy something through my affiliate link, I do get a nice commission through them. So if you want to help support the channel and you were going to buy something anyways, that's the way to do it. So the room sound, it's just a good... Okay, so really good room sound. I can take it all the way down. Okay. Now we do have a built-in high pass filter and low pass filter right here. So let's go all the way up with the low pass and all the way down with the high pass. So it's taking off a lot of that high end there. Let's go about halfsies on this. All right, cool. So that's the cab, and there's lots of different variations you can choose from there. We do have a shape EQ, and we have a mastering EQ. Let's turn both of these off. And this is what we have before. Let's go really drastically cut some mids right here. So now we have the shape on. Okay, and notice that we have a post and a pre. So we can have this set to pre, and we can also crank the pre volume going into the amp. So, ooh, my goodness. And then we can turn down the post maybe. That's not how that works. That's not how that works, but that's fine. I really like that option. So it's kind of acting as a boost, especially if you boost some 1K, some 500, somewhere in there. Maybe get like a nice backwards frown, smiley face. You're frowning now. something like that. Yeah, that's very nice. I like that. Okay, then if we go to our carbon amp or maybe even a fusion and get a higher gain kind of thing, all that mid-range hump going into the front of a already distorted amp gets you this. Yeah, so there you go. All that input going in. Andrew Collins, what's up, man? Almost tempted by a Fractal FM9. I say don't do it. It's not worth it. If you already have a Helix, you got everything you need. But I had second thoughts because I'm thinking of a new Helix that will be coming out during NAMM. Just a guess. That may be true. I don't know. The worship tutorial guys who are very big friends with Helix, Line 6 people, they really can't give any hints on yays or nays if there is something new coming out. But it would be very interesting. The only request I have is double the DSP and have a Bluetooth option. And I'd be stoked. I'd be, wow, that's really cool. Because my only thing right now is I have to use 2 paths to get all the blocks in there that I want for all the different sounds that I would use. And I'm not too interested in creating smaller presets and then switching between them using the spillover feature of presets. That's just more work. I just want one preset that does kind of everything I want. And more DSP would definitely help in being able to add just really all the high DSP things like, you know, stereo reverb, stereo delays, maybe dual amps or 4 amps in one preset that you can like switch between. It'd be really cool. So I know a lot of guys have been waiting around not buying a new Helix, not buying a current Helix because they're waiting to see what else happens in the future. But who knows? I have no idea, and there may be a few YouTubers out there that may know, but they're being very quiet about it. But I have no idea. So, but those are my only 2 things: double the DSP, or shoot, even quadruple the DSP. I don't care what you do, and then add a Bluetooth option. And I think you don't need a touch screen. You don't really need capturing. You know, I like everything just how it is. Just add more DSP and maybe a Bluetooth option, and you're good to go. So. Okay, so very nice overdrive there. And then we do have a mastering EQ, which looks like it's only after the amp, because usually mastering EQ is post effects. So we can go in and we can maybe cut some mids. We can raise some high mids, raise some highs. You can change the frequencies of all those. Maybe about 2K. Maybe we're going to cut somewhere like in the 300 area. Maybe we're going to boost a little 100 Hertz, something like that. Cool. I like that. And then we have, let's go back here. Yeah, it's still working. Everything's still working. Turn all that off. Maybe we'll turn down the push. Now we have a nice reverb that it's not shimmery, it's not too crazy, it's just a good all-around reverb. Yeah, I like it. And then you can add some extra width up here by clicking the width button, and it goes just wider in the spectrum. And then lastly, we have delay. And we'll turn up the mix. We'll turn the time down a little bit. Like so. We have standard, we have ping pong, and we have wide. So standard is this. Ping pong is left to right. Like that. Let's turn up the mix a little bit more. And then wide is just not ping ponging back and forth. It's just a nice wide stereo. And then we got tap tempo, which works well. All right, I like some of the overdrive stuff. Ooh, man. Let's look at the comments here. Is the F9 user friendly? I'm going to say it can be as easy to use as you want it to be. But there's a few things you got to learn just up front about it, on how to add the blocks and how to, draw shunts between the blocks so you can actually get a sound. That's the thing with it. It's so deep and expansive that you can literally do anything with it. But because of that, it is a little slower trying to learn. So, honestly, Andrew, if this is what I've come to this week, actually, is last week I talked about, who are you voting for as far as like digital modelers. I did say I really like the ToneMaster Pro, which I do. But after spending the week with the Helix floor, and that's what I used this past Sunday at church, that Helix floor is a beast. And I do have a very nice preset that I've made that I'm just going to keep using. And it's called like Doc Essentials or Doc Kitchen or something, whatever I've named it. I'll upload it to the website so anyone who wants to grab it can just pay a one-time fee, and they can get all my other Helix presets as well. I'm waiting to do that so I can make a few more videos, and then I'll upload it to the website. And then once it's done, because I need to finish creating all the snapshots and stuff for it. So, that Helix is really good. It's even deeper than I thought it was after reading some of the manual stuff and learning what the like the split option and all the dynamic split, the A, B, and the Y, and all the things you can do with that. But yeah, it's still very accessible and still very easy to learn. And I would say the fractal stuff, even the amp block has multiple pages that you can like scroll through. There's just so many options that, wow, you really got to have patience with it and wrap your head around it in order to fully understand what it can do and what's possible for what you want to do at any given time. But some people just keep it real simple. So Helix turns 10 in 2025. I'm saving up for it already, and myself. Until then, my head rush is fine. Yeah. Head rush is really good. It doesn't have all the things that other units have that I kind of wish the head rush has. But if I just step back from it and just look at it for what it is and just keep it real simple, head rush is a really good option. I mean, as in the amps sound really good, the effects sound really good. Yes, it doesn't have the cool features like the Helix does, or it doesn't have what the ToneMaster Pro has, or the Quad Cortex or other touchscreen capable, devices. It doesn't have a full MIDI compatibility, as in it can receive MIDI, but it can't send out MIDI. With all the different options that like the Helix has, for instance. So it's just the way it is, man. It's just the way it is. Yeah, it would be cool. This would be really cool if Line 6 came out with a 10th anniversary. Like, hey, we got Helix 2.0 in commemoration of our 10 years of having a Helix. That'd be pretty cool. Totally agree. I use one preset and I can do an entire gig. Helix is a great tool. It's really good, man. I haven't denied it for a long time, but I just kind of wanted the head rush to be like my main thing, which it still is. I mean, head rush is great, but there's a lot going on. There's a lot going for the Helix that if you owned one, I don't see why you would need anything else, honestly. It's really, really good. Super good. Yes, it's about to be 10 years old, but it still holds up to the newest models. See, that's what I'm talking about. I think the tones compared to anything that's new out there is still just as good as anything. But what's cool about it is 3 or 4 years ago, they added the new cabs. They've updated some of the modeling stuff in it. Even with an older hardware, they're able to update the software accordingly and do some amazing stuff. So Helix is right up there with me. It's right up there. Derek says, yes, it does, but you're right in that they are due to release something soon. I would think with 10 years development, it will be a monster. Man, I'm ready for it. I'm ready to slap down my credit card right now. I'd buy one in a heartbeat, whatever it is. Yeah, that's the one thing I like about really most modeling is component level modeling. So they're going into the computer and they're measuring all the responses of like the diodes and the capacitors and all the different stuff. And then they bake that into their model. So when you turn the knobs, it actually does what the amp really does in real life. And it also gives you the option of changing the bias, changing the hum and the other parameters that the Helix has. It's just, it goes deep enough to where you can change the sound however you want, but not so deep like the Fractal that it can be too overwhelming at times. And plus, I just was not, me personally, I wasn't not excited about using the Fractal UI. I could do it. Anybody can do it. It's just a matter of, do you want to do it? And I didn't want to do it anymore. So I just sold off all my Fractal stuff and I was done. And that's after owning 2 FM9s, selling one and then trading one off, having two FM3s. The first one I realized it's not as many switches as I'd want. So I sent it back and then I bought another one. And then since I had the AxeFX 3 with the FC12 foot switch, which I did buy with outright, that was a really cool setup using the AxeFX 3 with the FC12. But then I sold my FM3 before the gapless switching was added onto the unit. And I think nowadays I'd be perfectly fine using an FM3 up on the desk and then an FC12 foot switch at my feet. So I can still get to all 8 scenes. I can still access all the different presets I want, go into stomp mode and get to all the different blocks there. Yeah, that's what I would do. If I went back to Fractal, I would get an FM3. It didn't even have to be one of the new ones. It can just be one of the old ones. Because what's cool about it is this, Andrew Collins. What is cool about the gapless switching now that is on the Fractal is that means you have one amp block in the FM3, but it has 4 different amp channels. Yeah, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can have on different scenes and on different and on different presets, you could have on channel A, you could have a Princeton. On channel B, you could have a Vox. On channel C, you could have a Matchless. And then on channel D, you could have a Mesa Boogie or something. And then wow, my Bama draw came out. And then, I can't talk sometimes. I'm not drunk, I promise. And then via scenes, you can choose which amp channel you want and get totally different sounds all within the same preset. I think it'd be really, really powerful. And the same goes for the drive blocks, the overdrive and distortion blocks. You can have, I think it's 4 different drive channels. So even though you only have one amp block on the FM3 and only one reverb block on the FM3, I think you can get by switching channels on the drive and the amp blocks and just have a good overall reverb turned on. Then if you want more reverb or something more ethereal, you can go to like the multi-tap delay. You can go to one of the pitch verb things that they have. I can't remember what they call it. Lots of other options in there, and that'd be a good little setup. But that's a lot of work to try and get that set up, and I just think the Helix is more than enough if that's what you already have. So, but if someone gave me lots of money and was like, hey, go buy a Fractal, I would just buy an FM3 and a FC12 foot switch, and that'd be a cool little setup. Because then you can actually take the FM3 all by itself, throw it in a backpack, maybe with a little like a little switch type thing or something, and you can access like your tap tempo and your tuner with the external switch, and then have the 3 main switches go between different scenes or different presets or whatever you wanted, and to have totally gapless switching between all of it, and it'd be amazing. And then for the bigger shows where you want the FC12 at your feet, you just add that in via XLR cable, and it'd be sick. I don't know, man. This has me thinking. It's like, do I want to buy an FM3 and an FC12 foot switch? See, FM3 brand new is about $1,100. After tax is like $12. An FC12 foot switch is about $800. I could probably find one used somewhere, possibly. I don't know. I'd be in like $1,800 or so, $1,900 to get a new Fractal setup. And then an FM9 is like, you can find them used for like $1,500 nowadays, I think. But what I like about the FC12 versus the FM9 is it has, that many more switches. The FM9 only has 9 switches, while the FC12 has 12 switches. So you wouldn't think those extra 3 switches would be like a deal breaker, but it helps immensely with assigning things and making everything work. And the FC12 foot switch is not so big that you can't fit it into like a Gator case or like your Line 6 backpack or your headrest backpack or any other case that you use. And, it's just really good. So anyway, that's a lot of jabbering about Fractal and Helix and stuff. You think they would put amp capturing in a touchscreen? I don't know. I really like the UI of how the Helix has it right now. I don't need a touchscreen on the Helix. I kind of prefer that it doesn't have a touchscreen. Because really with the capacitance switches, if you just tap a switch, all your controls show up on the bottom of the screen anyway. Then you have all the knobs and stuff to just control whatever you need. So it's not, if they did, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be a big deal, but I kind of like the simplicity of not having a touchscreen, if that makes sense, and just keeping the same UI that they currently have. But I swear, if they just have double the DSP and like a Bluetooth options, you can stream music through your device. Yeah, I'd be all about it. I would be all about that. I keep clicking on the wrong thing here. All right, so. A little gritty on the sparkle down. Still getting a lot of dirt out of this. I don't have a booster or a drive on. I don't have a compressor on. I can try the compressor. It's a lot of compression though. I'll tell you one thing I wish Helix would, or Line 6 would do, is take the Helix native plug-in and actually make it a standalone plug-in like what I'm doing now with the HyperRig Kiesel. That way I don't have to use it inside of a DAW. It can just be a separate program I can have on my desktop. And because what I do with my interface is I use one of the USB loopback channels. So right now the plugin is coming out of my computer left and right USB return. And let me see if I can show you this here. See if I can show you this. Yeah, I can. Let me move myself out of the way. So you can see on the computer play, I have 32 channels of USB playback. I can choose whatever I want. Channels 15 through 24 are the returns of my Superior Drummer drum program. So when I play through my F-Note kit, which is right over here, all those channels show up. I keep clicking the wrong thing. All the channels show up right here. Kick, through, ambient, left and right. So there's like 10 channels of drums. So now I'm recording drums just like I had a mic on the kick and the snare and the overheads and the toms in the room. But it's all through Superior Drummer and it's beautiful. Really, really cool. I don't have it open right now, but that's how that works. So yeah, in my routing, my computer play is actually 1 and 2. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. But on the mix channel, which is how we're hearing this in the live stream, because I have my mix channel 1 and 2 set to mix left and right. That is showing up on channels 11 and 12 and 13 and 14 right here. And yeah, and then the computer rec, which is another layer of options. So this is, it's kind of confusing, but I'll do a video on this pretty soon to where the computer play is playing back audio from the computer. My mix channel is whatever mixer setup I want. And then on the actual computer record, which determines which channel in the DAW those inputs or signals are actually being recorded onto, I'm using 13 and 14 as my mix left and right playback. And I have that set to, let me show you this. This is kind of confusing, but I have this set to my, what's this called? The AudioCast, which is something that it's a free program you can download on your Mac that allows you to route audio from any input source to an output source. And the output is called Black Hole. I know this is very confusing, but it took me a while to get this down. And then the Orion Studio is my input. And see how it's set to 13 and 14 right here? We got it set to 13 and 14. We have all these other things I could choose from, but I'm just choosing the Orion. And let me reset this. All right, so when I reset it, it switched the thing. So I probably need to figure out if I can actually save this as a like a default something. AudioCast settings, file. I can do a save as, which is cool. Let me go ahead and do that. I'll call this streaming setup. This is going to be saved in my documents folder. All right, so now regardless of what happens, I can always go back to that. I can choose open, And I can go to streaming setup and choose that, and then it'll just, boom, there's my settings. I'm good to go. All right, so enough with that. That's how I'm routing the plugin. All this started with the Helix native plugin. So sorry for my rant or my rabbit trail here, but that's how I'm able to route audio back through the interface into a live stream or a DAW or anything else. And right now, in order to use Helix native, I have to open up a DAW, add it to a channel, make sure the buffer size is really low in the DAW so I don't hear any latency, and I don't like it. I mean, I can use it that way, it's fine, but if it was a standalone plugin, it'd be game over. I mean, why would you need anything else in life as far as recording at your computer? Because what's cool is you can take those presets that you've used in the plugin and now add it to your hardware, your Helix Floor, your Stomp XL, whatever it is, and it's the best of both worlds. You got recording in the studio, then you got that night you're out playing on the stage in front of 10,000 people. It's great. It's very similar to what Quad Cortex has done with their plugins. You can make a sound in the plugin, and then you can port that over to the hardware, the actual Quad Cortex. So, yeah. Very cool stuff. It's just, I have a digital studio, so I have electronic drums, an Alesis, a Recital Pro, just a very basic keyboard. I have all the digital maulers. I got Headrush, Headrush, Kemper, Helix, and that's really all the main ones I have right now. And then I got tons of plugins I can use here in the computer to record through and just jam through and whatever else. So that's the way that goes. Let's choose another song because we can. Let's see what we got here. We have a Bold Groove in D minor. I don't know what that is, but let's just see what it is. D minor, A, B flat, C. Okay. Oh yeah. Let's turn down the delay a little bit. This out of the way. Let's choose that. All right, mix down on the delay. Let's turn the feedback up. And let's turn on the drive. Oh man, that was on fire right there. That was on fire. All right, let me grab another guitar because I can. Cause I can. Woo. Burn it up, don't burn, 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 burn. Huh, interesting. Alright, so what I just found is, even though my input 4 is muted on the interface, which is what I have my guitar plugged into, and number 4 is the label bass, that's my high Z input. Since I'm outputting through a plug-in, it's coming out this computer left and right, and that's how we're hearing it, even though the actual channel I'm plugged into is muted. So, so this guitar, this is actually the second guitar that I've owned from Kiesel. I custom ordered it. This is an A2 body shape. That's a slightly different contour down here. It does have a natural binding of the top in this bevel area right here. So the whole thing is beveled. And then on the back, if I can actually turn it, this is a black limba. So it's a black limba body with a black limba top. And I think this is like some kind of burst of some sort. I can't really remember. It is a 7-string. It's a 7-string guitar. And with this being the second guitar, I'm trying to get the light going a little different here. With this being a second guitar Kiesel, I was really doing some experimenting with the specs and the feel. And this is actually my first 7-string I've ever owned in my life. So it's definitely a huge leap of faith of like, I'm not really sure if I'm going to like a 7-string or not. It did take me about a week and a half to get acclimated to having that extra string. But once I did, I think it's great. I really like it a lot. And let me turn off this drive here. And so you got the extra low end. Here's like a G, a D, and then a C. And notice that my fingers are playing the same bar chord like I would be on an F or a G, but except I'm not playing the top 3 strings because that's where it kind of has to end. Otherwise, you're doing this kind of thing. That's kind of weird. So you have to pay attention to that. But there's other cool 7-string chord voicings that you can learn to accommodate that extra string without being like, I'm only playing bar chords or I'm only playing power chords and like one finger type things or something. So let's go and kick in the infusion sound here. See what I did there? I was playing a little lick in D, right? But then when I got to that last note on D where I would normally stop, I'm now able to keep going down the pentatonic scale. right, so let's jam on this thing a little bit more. This is pretty fun. All right, here we go. So we got D as the first chord. Do something here. This I see what's going on. I see. I'm gonna have the input be something different from my output. I'm gonna have it be right here. All right, there we go. Woo! Hey! Hey-o! Great. Well, you can see I enjoy playing the guitar. I hit the sweet tone realm. I'm like, that's it. That's really good. All right. Let's do one more here. Let's put this on tuner. I should be muted. Let's do one more guitar, then we'll be about done, okay? Now, you're probably wondering at this point, you're like, wow, this guy's really an idiot, or he's rich, or maybe he's just an idiot and he's not rich. He's probably just an idiot, yeah. All right, so what's going on here is I really enjoy Kiesel guitars. And the reason why I like Kiesel guitars is they are custom made in California at the Kiesel factory in Escondido, or however you say it. And you can literally order any spec that you want, okay? But the cool thing is they also have in stocks to where you don't have to wait 12 to 14 to 25 weeks, or however long some of these builds take, depending on how involved they are. Let's just say you don't have to wait 3 months, right? So if 3 months was the threshold of waiting time, sometimes you can find an in stock that has the right color, the right hardware, the right look, the right everything. You're like, that's a cool guitar. I really like that. I'm just going to buy it right now. And what's cool is you can actually put it on a Kiesel card, a Kiesel credit card, and they can send you the guitar like right away, and you just pay it off over the next year. Or you can put it on any other credit card or a PayPal credit or whatever you wanted to, if you didn't have all the money up front, and you could just, finance it and get the guitar right away versus having to put down, $500 or whatever it is to start the build and then wait for the guitar to be built and then have to pay the remaining balance when the guitar is done before they can ship it out to you. So it's kind of an advantage of kind of scoping out the in stocks is you can just find one that, catches your eye. It's like, hey, that's actually a really good price. And it has, all Kiesel guitars have stainless steel frets. They have top quality rosewood and ebony fretboards and crescent moon and all kinds of other cool things. They have really nice tops on them. They have some kind of titanium truss rod going through the neck. So it's just very strong. It's never going to move with the weather and all that stuff. They do have a lifetime warranty on these. So if something breaks or anything happens, they'll fix it for you. And it's just a very good, solid company to invest your money in and get a very nice instrument that will last you literally the rest of your life. So this guitar right here is essentially my PRS killer. This is their version. This is what they call the CT6, which is a carved top 6. Very reminiscent of a PRS guitar, obviously. But Kiesel's been making this style of body for a very long time. Even back in the Carvin days when they were under the name Carvin. So you have the option to get a hip shot trim, which is very, very smooth. Or on other models, you can get a Goto trim, a Goto. And that's also a very smooth trim setup. And this has a very nice switch on here. Looks great, feels great, switches nice and secure like it's supposed to. It also has a push-pull pot. So I can split the coil of the humbuckers and get a totally different sound. So here's my neck pickup. Split the coil. Yeah, I love it. It feels great, sounds great, all this stuff. I'm moving my comments over here. Gabriel Ware is in the house. First time tuning into your channel. Well, thanks for showing up. I talk about literally all kinds of gear. I also answer your questions. So it didn't have to be about the topic I'm talking about. It can be about any gear question. So if you have anything burning in your mind, Gabriel, anything at all, go ahead. I'm ready. I will answer it the best I can. But that sound right there, that's me playing through a Kiesel, the HyperRig Kiesel plug-in, and it sounds pretty good. I'm going to turn the bass down on this. Maybe turn the gain down, something like that. Gabriel, I know what it was. It was the guitar playing, wasn't it? You just like, man, that Doctor McFarland has the chops. He's got the tone. I'm going to subscribe right now. I know it is. That's what it was. I mean, just look at this thing. Look at it. I got my Jayhawk pants on. I'm ready to go, guys. I am ready to go. This is like a 5A top. Just a 5/8 top. It's nothing too special. It's great. All right, let me play a little bit with this sound and this guitar. There we go. Oh, yeah. All right, folks. So that is the Kiesel stuff going on today. I got Kiesel guitars, the Kiesel HyperRig. And if I'm sitting here at a computer anyways, I might as well plug in a guitar, you know, read some email, answer some stuff, you know, pull up a plug-in of some sort and just start playing. Also have Amplitude, which sounds nice. I have I do have the McFarland suite, which I do prefer the Kiesel, the HyperRig Kiesel plug-in more. Helix Native, obviously, which I've talked about earlier. I do have the Scuffum amps, thing you get with RME interfaces and some other stuff. I have a lot of different plugins, but whatever works to get the sound in your head that you can just jam with, you can have fun with. That's what you do. Gabriel says, I've taken about an 8-year break from playing guitar. Used to play for 4 years. Recently, I've been looking at an Ibanez RG 5120M. It's a really nice guitar, but should you and everybody else? Well, Ibanez RG 5120. Let's look it up. Let's look it up and see what we got here. Ibanez RG 5120M. That's not that bad. It ain't bad at all. So this is what we're dealing with here, the polar lights. Which finish are you wanting? Actually, I didn't like that one. I want this one. I want the Frozen Ocean. Oh man. The Frozen Ocean. All right, so check this out. This is what we got. Why am I upside down? Jeez, oh Pete. Okay. Make myself square. There we go. All right, so what do you think, guys? This is $2,000. You can finance it at, dude, it's $56 a month. Now, that is a 3-year span of paying for a guitar. And what's cool about this is you don't have to wait 3 years. If you want to pay $56 for a few months, then you come across some money, you can just put a big chunk down, then continue paying $56 a month till you get some more money, and then you can pay more down. So you don't have to wait 3 years to pay off a guitar like this at Sweetwater. That just gives you the option to, like, okay, if I had to pay it over 3 years, it's only $56 a month. But if I want to pay it down early or just pay it off early, there's no penalty for that. So I say if you got room in your budget for $56 a month and you really like the guitar, I mean, that's nice. It is nice. It does have the locking nut and the it's not exactly a Floyd, but it's Ibanez's own version of the Floyd, essentially. And it looks nice. I can't fault it for anything. It does have a battery pack on there because it probably has some Fishman Fluence pickups. And it comes with a case. I mean, the case right there is at least $250 in value, at least. So you're getting a lot for $2,000. I would go out on a limb and say you are getting a lot. So this is the Prestige Super Wizard HP neck, 24 bird's eye maple fretboard. Yeah, 24 fret bird's eye maple fretboard. That's really nice. That is really nice. Palm muting never felt so good with the L Pro Edge tremolo. Fishman Fluence modern humbuckers, which is in this guitar. And this Kiesel guitar right here, this is what I have. I got the Fishman Fluence pickups. Oh man. Now, Gabriel, this is the deal. Okay, if you're gonna buy this guitar, you have to click through my Sweetwater link in the description of any of my videos, so I get a little affiliate kickback from that, from being so nice and kind to you. But you really don't buy it if you can't afford it, or if you just can't. But I'm saying if you can manage $56 a month, yeah, I say go for it. I'd say go for it. And it's as easy as adding it to your cart. And when you're checking out, you can choose to sign up for a Sweetwater credit card. And then that allows you to do the financing through, for $56. Now, if you need extra help with this, that guy right there on the screen, Aaron Reginald, he's actually my Sweetwater rep. So if you want to call the number and order the guitar through him, he could probably even get you a small deal. Maybe he can cut some money off of the entire price, and you can still finance it for whatever. So that's an option too. So don't just buy through my link just to help support me, because you can always go to my website. If you really want to help support me, go to my website right here and click on the store, and you can buy all these backing tracks, which I released 52 of them for 2023, and it's only $20. So if you want to help support me in that way, you can. It's not required by any means, nor do I want to run you off because you're a new subscriber. That's not it. But yes, if you want to buy this guitar, either buy it through my link or call up Aaron Reginald at Sweetwater, and he can get you probably a good deal on the guitar and get a very nice financing option so you can pay for the guitar over time. That's what I would do. I think it's a great looking guitar. I have no issues with any of it. And it's fun. I like the color of that too. It's just really pretty. That is really pretty. So, now, if you're going to have a heart attack because you're going to thinking about buying a guitar for $2,000, then don't buy a guitar because you might have a heart attack. But I don't think $56 a month is going to give anybody a heart attack at all. If you eat out $56 worth a month, then just quit eating out for however long till you can pay off the guitar. Yeah, find other things in your budget that you can cut back on that you don't necessarily need to overpay for, and you can find $56 a month in your budget to pay for a guitar, you know. And I would say that would help your health overall, because any kind of hobby that you can really enjoy in life, you need to fully partake in that, because that can drastically help you, you know, especially if you have a job that you don't necessarily like. You can easily come home from your job, unwind, crank up an amplifier, plug in a guitar, and just go to town for hours and buy back your sanity one sweet guitar lick at a time. Buy back your sanity. It's actually $19.99 there, but yeah, who's counting? I love the polar lights. Okay, fine. I prefer the frozen ocean, but let's look at the polar lights. What are you doing? Stop it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's more of like it's like a dark finish. That's pretty cool. It looks like it has a little bit of sparkle. See that sparkle it has in there? I think it'd be neat. I'm more drawn to the blue personally. But if you like the darker look, that's great. I'm fine with that. It's got a few weeks. Sure. So I was originally trying to say, should you or everybody else tell me no to this guitar for my health? No. With the financing options that we have nowadays, there's no reason not to buy certain things. Now, if you were forced to pay for this thing all up front and you just didn't have the money, you know, don't go putting it on a credit card and then hoping and praying that you can actually pay it off within a month, or else you're going to start incurring interest. But this is all interest-free, $56 a month, interest-free payments, and, you know, it works. So all right, my pinky fingers are crooked, have been since birth. Chords and pinky usage on guitar has always been hard for me. I got into 3D printing and recently designed a finger splint to straighten my pinkies. That's great, man. And necessity is the art of invention. Is that what they said? Whatever they say. Now, there's a guy or a few guys on YouTube. They play guitar with their feet, literally with their feet, because they have no limb, they have no arms, and these guys shred. So I don't want to hear anybody out there say, "Oh, I can't do something because I don't have this or I'm this way." You can find, if there's a will, there is a way. You can find a way to play and enjoy life and do all that you want to do. And yeah, I say more power to you, man. I think it's really cool. Now, if you made a video on how you made a 3D printable splint for your finger, I mean, that could blow up. That could be one of the things that you pay for the guitar with, you know, YouTube AdSense money. Because once you get a certain amount of subscribers and watch hours, you can start monetizing your channel. And I'm sure a video like that would just blow up and you would make some good money from that. I have no guarantee of that, but just doing a video of the process of making that and how you actually were able to straighten out your pinky, that's a story that people would love to watch. And I see no reason why you couldn't be successful with a video like that on YouTube. Because it's kind of inspirational. You're kind of helping other people see that, hey, life can't just be all doom and gloom. We can actually learn and appreciate the life that we have and share that with others. So, yeah, I think it'd be a beautiful story that you can tell through either just your iPhone or a camera that you have, or just however way you can capture that process, and then show the end result of, you know, your pinky being straight and showing you shredding on the guitar and all that stuff. So, all right, guys, I've gone over a little bit today, but I try to start right at 4 o'clock, and then we can end around 5, you know, quarter after, something like that. But thanks for everyone for reaching out and commenting. We got Andrew, we got Gabriel right here, and who else? We got Derek P. Yeah. Thanks everyone for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Check out the links in the description of the video if you want to help support the channel. And until next time, I am Dr. McFarland. I will see you in the next video. Keep rocking.